because you need to sort of stay at that top level by playing the top level. But the later we get on, and I do believe we actually might be going into our first... Yes, we go. The draft is ready, and we're going to see Clutch on both sides. I think Clutch is going to be the hero of the day. So, not surprised at all to see both players go with Clutch, especially on a close-range map like this, and actually a complete mirror of each other's champions. Everyone's going with the same champion here. Now, Evil on Clutch, I mean, this is pretty much quite a go-to for him at this stage. How two Clutches will fare on this map will be interesting because it will come down to who spawns closer to the rocket launcher. Well, being just one of them. If you get the rocket, I mean, that really is that sort of like tried and true weapon you want Clutch to have because minimizes downtime on the barrier. So when you shoot the barrier and it goes down, it sort of comes back up as soon as possible. If they both go Clutch first, that's where I think the pace of that 1v1 is going to heavily be set by who gets the weapon they need. I kind of expect Evil to start. At the very least, I think Evil was going to be starting with Clutch. I believe
he's been consistently starting.
Yeah.
He had a very unique style of Clutch, though. It wasn't hyper-aggressive. It was picking his moments, but mainly using just his speed and health pool to win fights. We actually saw the shield wall used in a lot of Evil's fights on Thursday a startlingly low amount. He would win the fights before he even needed it. He would save it until the absolute last minute, and it was almost a survival tool more than a aggression tool.
But both of them starting with Clutch. Right now, Evil finds himself in the heavy armor, but the rail too? Yeah. He's going to take the weapons as opposed to... Did he get them both? No, he didn't. Yeah, Pavel was able to get the mega health. I just saw two very long bars at the top of the court. Did Evil get them both? But here comes the shield wall. They're going to trade it out, but no, hits the ground. And the splash damage does 96 damage, even with the wall activated. A great exchange for Evil. Here comes another rocket fight. Pavel looking a little bit better here, but just as I've said, that gets tagged by a rocket as well. He has to get out of there. This 1 versus 1 is as crazy as I was expecting, to be honest. Pavel topping himself up a bit. Mega health goes the way of Evil, that's what he needs, but no armor, so a lot of that health is just going to get chunked away very quickly. Both players have their important weapons, both with rail, both with the rocket, both with shield wall. That's the thing. If we see no hourglasses, if we're observing one Clutch and they trade a shield wall in a fight, it's fair to assume that the other one's going to have one as well. Oh, almost walked straight into that one. 100 health left, one direct will kill him. No armor, so he has to be very careful. Pops the barrier just to safely secure the heavy armor. One of the unsung heroes of that shield wall was that it almost guarantees you taking certain pickups uncontested. If you're sitting on an item with a shield wall, there really isn't anything anyone can do to challenge it from you. Pavel now, though, finding himself starved for armor. Pops the barrier a bit early, tries to fight. Will he be able to outlast it? It does run out in the mid-air of the direct, almost 100 damage. That was a good exchange for Evil. That could have gone pear-shaped if even one rocket managed to connect to him. There you go, this is that Evil style though, was able to use his barrier just to survive, not even aggressively, and then just use his superior aim to take that first frag. So one thing you cannot count out about Evil is his unbelievable aim. This guy really was a Quake Live legend. In Quake Live, I mean, just check out the frag movies, you know what I mean? I mean, he's making his own right now. That was 2 swift frags. Very clean. Pavel now down to this Nyx by herself. And just look at how much damage he doesn't take when he has armor. With that shield wall handy, he's going to take away that defensive mechanism from Pavel. Trying to keep him at bay with the super nail gun, but with 20 damage a shot, that can add up super fast. If you're someone like Clutch with a big hitbox. Expecting the teleporter, trying to sort of deny that area, but Pavel up behind. And there's the shield wall. Not used aggressively, just trying to sort of stay alive. But to be fair, using it defensively, but because he got a rail just for good measure, he's still in a great spot. If he catches Pavel with 1 rail now, he's in big trouble. Pavel did get the heavy armor though. So that's going to help him greatly. Wow, yeah, Pavel caught him out there. Evil caught the wrong weapon at the wrong time. Unfortunately, Pavel missing a couple of these rails. He got a really nice read on the spawn, but his lack of accuracy wasn't really enough. And Evil with the reads! He just knew exactly where Pavel was going. I don't think he even think it was a read. He popped his Ghost Walk when he knew it was safe to chase, and he just followed him.
He just saw he saw that Pavel would come out of his Ghost Walk, so Evil still had his to go. As soon as he came out of his, Evil went into his Ghost Walk, and then he just followed him.
That's true.
And we saw Pavel turn around because he heard it. Oh, hang on a minute. Speaking of which, we find ourselves with a fight straight away, and Evil trying to get out of this. I think he realized that Pavel had the armor.
The ability to chase someone down in this game is so dangerous. Evil's danger really here is that he hasn't got a rocket. I think Pavel going on the side though is going to kind of allow him to take that, but
yeah, I tried to stop him with one, or at least deter him, but this isn't going to stop him.
he definitely deems the mega health much more important to take. Heavy armor's going to spawn. Pavel getting...
Oh, doesn't let him get the heavy armor at all.
That was a bad spot right there. It's now way too risky for Pavel to try and take it. I think Evil knows that.
So Evil doesn't go for any of these power-ups unless he is like 100% convinced that it's going to be safe to do so.
I think it's just really strong map awareness. If he realizes he can try and bag a frag and then get power up, he'll do that instead.
Pavel up top though, fully stacked on health. Oh wow, barrier forced again. But, oh no, Pavel goes in for the kill.
I think he maybe anticipated a slightly earlier spawn of that mega health. Tried to almost bully his way into it. Because if he went in on that shield and then stole the mega health, he was probably going to get the frag there on Evil. Here comes the LG, but Evil took a lot of damage, but his tracking on the LG is bar none sometimes. And that is proof of that. How much damage did he just do?
Oh, Pavel spawns immediately and takes down Evil straight away. Pavel with just a machine gun as well. Brilliant aggression.
Pavel's not in a very good situation though, with no rail. He's just getting peppered down with range. He's not knocked up, but had the safety of the wall there. Here comes Evil being aggressive again, and a telefrag!
That was a telefrag, sort of just normally out in the open. That wasn't even on a power-up.
You almost never see that. It is underratedly difficult to get a telefrag with Nyx's Ghost Walk when the opponent is actually in motion. How he got that in a real match is really something. But Pavel, we've seen him play last Thursday. He made some miraculous comebacks, so definitely not a player that you want to count out in this top 16.
Heavy armor goes to away Pavel of 2. Pavel now has both of them.
No doubt he saw him go into Ghost Walk, and that's why we saw the retreating rocket jump. Actually quite a good call, because Nyx is unable to fire while she's invisible, which means that if Pavel wanted to go for his defensive rocket jump, there really wasn't anything an invisible Evil could do to chase him down.
The heavy armor, once again. Is Pavel going to get that one? Not quite sure. I think he's just being a bit timid too.
It's a bit risky. I mean,
yeah, you have to be careful.
Out of all the maps, I feel like heavy armor on this map is one of the absolute riskiest. There's the re-emerging Pavel, though, doesn't quite get the damage he was after, so although he ambushed Evil, the payout was not really what he was looking for.
Ooh.
Does actually, the rocket jump did quite a big amount of damage to himself, but not surprised to see Evil not pursuing this. We're 10 seconds away from the 1 minute warning, and if Evil can stay alive for this amount of time, he's going to win on just Champions alone.
See, it depends if Pavel can catch him out. Oh, just like this, perhaps. Oh no, misses the rail. That could have been it, but it isn't going to matter. Pavel's able to even things up now.
Goes down to his ranger, another good spawn. A very consistent place for the enemy to spawn on this map, I think.
Yeah, we can see heavy armor's not up for a while. I think Pavel just trying to reposition. Evil's got to be careful though, doesn't have any armor. See if Pavel has all the weapons in the world.
Oh, especially after that 64 damage rocket. Now he is really weak. All Pavel needs to do is hit one rail, but has he got the confidence to land the shot? He opted to go for LG instead. The rocket is going to be really important to keep him at bay while he took that armor. Misses
Oh,
the
he missed
rail.
the rail.
That might be a costly drop. So we're going to go into sudden death, but again, because they both have one champion, it doesn't really do much. 5 seconds, Pavel has that defensive mechanism of the Ghost Walk and walks right into a direct rocket. Evil gets the round.
I mean, that's that kind of prediction, just that straight up awareness of where you're going to be. I mean, you can get rocket ammo quite easily if you're being uncontested on the way, so not really anything wrong with just peppering someone around if you know where they're going to be, but that's the kind of stuff we expect to see from Evil, you know, aim on point, good reads, and once again, this is a mirror of the last round. Exactly the same as well, Evil goes the same escape route.
Not only taking
So I've accidentally hit a replay.
well, not only taking the mega health as well, but forcing that shield wall out of Pavel early, which means that now if Evil catches Pavel in a spot he doesn't want to be in, there's really not much he can do to stop tanking the damage. I mean, this is a large hitbox champion. Swoops in and takes that rocket as well, so now he's going to be extra dangerous. Rocket launcher, still overcharged armor, overcharged health as well. I mean, look, he can still tank many rails.
I mean, both of them can. This is a bit of a slobber knocker between two big bodies like this with just that sheer health pool. And the mega health, 200 HP.
A very defensive shield wall, trying to sort of guarantee the heavy armor. I wonder if it's going to be sufficient. Here comes Evil. He's going to be aggressive, but he's taken big damage in the process. Walks right into a rocket. Well placed by Pavel. And now he's forced the clutch off Evil early.
I think Evil might have just expected the barrier to sponge it there, but I think Pavel just angling it right to get around the barrier.
Lovely rail to catch him in the middle of the air, and then that mega health to make the divide even larger. Definitely didn't know that Evil was sitting up on that heavy armor, though.
Yeah, around. Oh, Evil trying to stop him with the heavy armor, but isn't going to do it. Look at the health and armor Pavel has. This might be guaranteed death. Does the Ghost walk up?
No, hang on a minute. Evil's getting amazing rockets,
Wow.
and they trade. I'm surprised they even traded that.
I thoroughly expected Evil to just be dead there. Pavel had maximum health, maximum armor, both were overcharged, had the barrier and a rocket launcher. Very surprised that Evil was able to trade that out.
Evil is in trouble, though. 45 health, 25 armor. That's not really a huge amount. He's up to 100 now, but that's still nothing compared to the stack that Pavel's working on at the stage. There's a rail, and there is a second.
I mean, he attempted it, but I mean, look, Pavel with the 75 armor and overcharged health, even if that dire orb connected, he wouldn't have died. Evil just wasn't quite able to get that. Pavel able to take the round.
Important that he got around in this stage, I think. A 3 straight is always quite demoralizing, especially when you're this close to your tournament life being over.
Well, it's because the rounds
set.
themselves aren't complete whitewashes, you know what I mean? Like, they're not one-sided.
Now, Pavel wants to get a good start. He's got to get that clutch away from Evil again. I know it's easier said than done against sort of the talent that this game brings now, but it looks like taking clutch away from Evil is priority number 1. A couple of rails will make a very good start for that, but they trade Mega for heavy.
Oh, but a good shot onto Evil. Pavel doing a lot of damage.
It's always quite an interesting fight when you see 2 clutch players both trying to sort of just poke each other down with those rails from distance. But the second a fight starts, they just both activate the shield wall.
But it can be so explosive because they just have so much health.
And it's easy for him to run too. Evil, though, manages to not quite seal the mega health. Pavel gets it. And I feel like that might be foreshadowing.
Oh, Pavel doing a lot of damage to himself at the moment. Evil has a little bit of health. Pavel trying to regen a little bit.
Kind of crazy, really, how Pavel was the one that was able to take that mega, but somehow he is the one massively down on health and armor now.
But the heavy armor went to the way of Evil at the very least. Evil now pushing himself near the mega health. There's that still defense proccing through, so 64 damage on the rail instead of the normal 80.
Yeah, if you get hit by that rail right as you're standing still, it'll proc that still defense. You'll take less damage. In a rail war, clutch, I mean, he can tank enough as is, and then your rail goes from doing 80 to 60.
2 minutes already. Both players really slowing this one down. This is a far cry from what we saw the last 3 rounds.
I think Pavel realizes that if he can just play really carefully and pick his spots, he can catch Evil. This aggressive approach, or... Well, actually, the first 2 rounds for Evil started because he caught Pavel on a spawn and forced him away from Mega Health.
That's what he tried in round 3 too, but Pavel's just starting to survive a lot better now.
Adaptations to playstyles. It's a huge element here. They're going to trade it back and forth. Lovely timed rocket from Pavel, though, to catch the gap in between shield. Another 100 damage, 73 as well, finishing it with the LG. Really nice accuracy is going to seal that clutch
I
away.
like that, though. Pavel jumped over to heavy armor. I think expecting Evil to just expect him to stay there. So as soon as he jumped up there, Pavel, even without collecting heavy armor, jumped straight back down again and went straight for Evil.
There is no way Pavel was expecting Evil on spawn to push as hard as he did. But look how much damage Pavel took in the meantime. He's got some of it back now, but he was pushed away from everything. Oh, wow! Nice shots.
That was a clean shot for sure, and Evil now put on this Ranger by himself once again. 2 minutes left to go as well.
Pavel can absolutely play this defensive timing game.
He's playing the right champion for it. You want to stall time, pick someone with loads of health, good movement, and the ability to immune damage. That's clutch.
Evil expecting him to be there, but doesn't get a huge amount of payout. Looping it all the way back, though. Here comes the LG. Is Evil going to chase it?
Wow.
He does indeed now. Don't call it a comeback. He's got 25 seconds. He's got to get Pavel now. Otherwise...
No, he has 1 minute, 25 seconds. He has a bit more time.
Oh, he does indeed. It's actually, yeah, of course. Don't worry, guys. I can't do maths today. That's right.
No, there's a clock at the top of the screen or anything. Oh, dear. Pavel, was he going to go down again?
Still looking good. Just needs a little bit more than that. Pavel's running away, getting some health, but we can see how little health matters if you've got no armor.
Yeah, Evil really wants to catch Pavel out here. Really trying to get this frag before now. Less than a minute to go.
Nice prediction on the teleport. Definitely not teleporting to that dire orb, though. Too risky, and speaking of risk, I don't know if he's going to be able to challenge. Never mind, Pavel. Kind of letting him take the heavy armor there. Now, 35 seconds is on the clock.
And you were waiting for that, weren't you?
I was waiting. Is it going to matter, though? He just took a lot of damage there.
I think Evil immediately recognizing that he wasn't getting all the damage in that trade.
If you're this low on life, it's one thing that the real sort of seasoned veteran Quake players will know is the second the fight is not in their favor, they'll know to run and not commit.
5 seconds left to go.
Yeah,
Pavel
he's got to be
needs
aggressive.
survive.
And with 3 seconds on the clock, yeah, there's really nothing Evil can do, so he's going to sort of concede that round. At the point where it was 5 seconds and Pavel had so much health left,
We are going down to a final round of this first map. Yeah, we kind of expected this to be a good one for Evil, but whilst he is still 1 round away from taking the first map, it is much closer. And already we go back to this clutch mirror.
A big difference here is that Evil is now spawned near a rocket launcher. That does mean that Pavel is yet to have one. But the read, nice rail, but he's landed 1 good rocket. If he gets another, he might try and push this advantage. Or Pavel has no armor.
Evil has plenty.
Just top up on some of those rockets. They're going to be really important down the line.
Oh,
half a second before the teleporter.
yeah, caught a teleporter just before rail connecting.
There's 1. The preemptive shield. I think that was either to guarantee the heavy armor, or it was because he expected Evil to try and push that. Either way, it's going to get him out of danger for now.
Half the cooldown already gone on the barrier thanks to those hourglass pickups.
Very small cooldown.
I say deceivingly low cooldown considering the benefit.
Such a long-winded first round when you have 2 clutches going head-to-head. They have so much health, so much armor. It is not easy to take this guy out at all, let alone 2 of them.
Heavy armor being controlled. You see how dangerous Clutch can be when he has all that armor to work with.
Clutch being a very noisy champion does mean that it's quite easy to hear him.
He's trying to make these connect, but Pavel doing a great job of just keeping himself topped up in between all these fights.
Here comes the shield wall. Yeah, Pavel's just going to try and wait it out. Answering back with his own. He knows he's going to outlast him. But no.
Down the, yeah, Pavel able to retreat back into heavy armor. And again, we find ourselves back to the stalemate.
Evil definitely not looking to commit. He doesn't commit unless he is certain that he's going to get something good off the fight. There's the LG. Wow. We have actually seen quite a low amount of LG coming out of Evil, even though his accuracy on it has been superb the entire championship. On a Thursday, it was no different circumstance at all. And Pavel gets melted in the middle, and this just got really good for Evil.
3 rockets, 3 loads of damage, 1 dead clutch. Pavel now losing it.
That direct into LG. Looking to try and keep it a little bit easier to land.
You were saying about the LG. Able to get that return frag now, and Evil now clutch versus this Nyx. Ghost Walk. He has barrier. He knows he's followed over right. And wow, immediately going down. And that is how quickly things can turn around if Pavel was the first one to lose his clutch. That was insane.
I think that's the quite clear story of that match, though, is whenever Pavel would get Evil away from the clutch, the round would be so much better for him. But on the flip side, if he wasn't able to do that, Evil was kind of able to run rampant. And we saw that all 3 rounds. It was 2 amazing starts in round 1 and 2, where he did a bunch of damage to Pavel and forced Pavel away from the Mega. And in that final round, he just outlasted him, got that one moment where he knocked Pavel out of the middle area and went, right, he's down there, he's got no more shield wall, I'm going to go ham on this guy, and I'm going to finally get this frag. And that's exactly what he did.
A big thing we're seeing players start to do to work around that clutch shield, though, is really trying to utilize splash damage on the environment around him. We saw it in the second series of the day, and we just saw it a lot there too, especially in that final frag where Evil was able to take his clutch out first. It was almost all splash damage. Very little of them seemed to actually directly sort of impact. It was like the wall behind him, so the barrier's up here in front, wall explodes behind, splash damage, ultimately still going to do damage to him. And we saw that a lot. All 3 rockets of that last frag, I believe, were from splash damage. And it seems to be a good workaround.
So we're in a situation here where you are able to, once again, change the map. So if you lose the map, you've got the freedom of choosing the one you want to play next. Kind of like what you get for being a map down. You can now give yourself that advantage or that advantageous situation to go, right, well, I'm going to pick a map that I enjoy, or a map that complements my team, or just one that I feel more comfortable on. So when it comes to the potential map we're going to play here, I've just been told that we are quite close to going to character select, so I'm thinking the map choice was quite a quick turnaround.
Prepare for draft.
Corrupted Keep. This actually seems to be a bit of a recurring theme today, starting a blood run and then going to the keep. Evil, I assume, yep, starting with the clutch. And Pavel in return, the exact same thing. Do you think Pavel's going to go back to that Galena?
It is...
Ah, Blaskovic.
I am interested to see.
Who do you reckon Blaskovic is going to be replacing?
Oh, Evil's gone Galena.
Hello, that's an interesting composition.
Now Pavel has gone Visor. So this is quite an interesting lineup. So you've got Galena, Clutch, and Blaskovic. So you've got the sheer damage output from Blaskovic, which in some ways, again, is that answer to the chunky champions like the Scale Bearers and the Sorlags and the Clutches that you see get picked all the time on Corrupted Keep. That's one of the things Blaskovic does so well, is that it's damage all the time and you're likely to fight often. And his dual wield just goes hand in hand with every weapon you can find on that map, given the size of it. So Galena, I really thought it was going to be Pavel picking Galena. I don't even think I've seen Evil pick Galena yet.
Well, what I want to point out quickly, though, is on the sort of going back a little bit to the subject of the Blaskovic, the 2 players we've seen who I would say are arguably the most lethal with a lightning gun that we've seen so far in Quake Champions.
Good point.
Cypher and Evil, I think, have the most impressive lightning guns we've seen at the moment. Both of them, it seems, have access to that Blaskovic, who is a monster. When you get that dual-wield lightning gun, you will melt anyone in the game if you're accurate enough. And I think if you have the skills to track with the lightning gun the way these guys can, you can be terrifying. And I think we might be finding out the hard way exactly why that is.
So the matchup that we're about to see will really only change, and Evil wasting no time getting the rocket launcher first. I think that's a really important call, where he just took the heavy armor as soon as possible.
He completely conceded mega health. He was like, you take mega health, I'll get the rocket launcher, I'll see you later, mate.
But I've got a feeling that as long as we're seeing Clutch pick first, that's going to be where the fight will take place at the start of every round, because...
Oh, he's going to hear the barrier activated.
Yeah, that's the... And when on top of hearing the barrier make its noise, Clutch does like to talk smack when the shield goes active, so he goes on for quite a while.
Yeah, he's going to know that Pavel's got the mega health, seeing him run down that eagerly.
A little bit of prediction, but Pavel stopping in his tracks right before it connects.
And again, Evil definitely doesn't seem to be that kind of clutch that will just mindlessly run in with the barrier up. He really looks for his moment. Pavel very much doing the same so far.
Well, that's the main thing Evil does. He uses the health pool and the speed of Clutch to navigate around and play normally, I suppose. And he only really uses the shield when the time comes. That's barrier for barrier. Yeah, Evil completely content just conceding that one, not even trying to fight, just being healthy instead. It was this passive playstyle of only attack when it's my time, and now he's seen 100. He knows he's going to go and land another 100, but look at how much health Pavel still has. For how long? Not long at all. The lightning gun melts it down in Evil. We were just talking about how he plays passive, but the second he saw those 3 numbers, he was like, right, I'm going in. 100. That's it. That's all I need. Pavel tries to get the damage, but another 100. And again, we're going to see Evil go and impress the advantage. The second he sees the rocket numbers nice and high, that is when he plans the attack.
Oh, he caught the spawn. Pavel forced to this visor. Still though, Nailgun doing a lot of damage. He has 36 health. Oh, couldn't even get the heavy armor.
Concedes.
Mega health not up for another 5 seconds at least.
Looking to run towards this Mega. Ooh, can't take any rockets with no armor, and the super nail gun does more than enough damage. Now this is where the matchup will change. We saw Clutch versus Clutch for quite a while, but here are the different champions. Pavel down to that visor, but Evil with that Blaskovic looking to really try and, I can only assume, take out Pavel as fast as possible.
Still though, Visor being a deceivingly chunky champion by himself with 125 health. That's definitely not bad.
There's that piercing sight. Now knows exactly where he is, but no doubt Evil would have heard that activated. Both champions with a massive cooldown on their abilities. I believe it's Blaskovic with 50, 45 on the piercing sight from Visor. So in between abilities being activated, there's going to be a lot of just having to predict. And there we go. Speaking of prediction, the prediction rocket in front of Evil running straight into it. And he's now down to his Galena. But he's caught Galena on a fantastic spawn, but jumping into the totem. I'm wondering if he was just taking the damage on purpose with the anticipation of Evil not having a weapon.
Not quite sure, but are we going to see Pavel make this round 1 full comeback?
It's possible.
Yeah, you know, Visor was left by himself.
Just look at that health. If he can make a comeback now, I mean, it's more than possible.
And Pavel's just making it very hard for Evil to keep himself healthy.
There's one. Only 1 rocket so far. Make that 3 in a row. But you just saw how little health he had there. It was 17, 17, and then like, what, 30 something. And that was all it took for him to go out. He did not have any health in that exchange at all.
Really well played though, overall. I mean, that was a full comeback. I thought Evil was just commanding that from the start, but apparently not. Pavel managing to turn the tide.
Visor had other ideas. Now Pavel gets the rocket launcher. Evil opts to get the Mega. But he's not going to have the weapons required, so he's going to have access to the LG, but with that shield wall, it's only going to do so much. Has to try and do so much damage to Pavel that he uses the shield wall early. But when you're both a Clutch and you're trying to do the same thing to each other, that can be really difficult.
It's going to know both these pickups will be spawning at roughly the same time. All barrier for barrier. But Evil's going to go in. He knows he's got the health advantage. He just picked up Mega. He just got heavy armor too. He knows he is completely in the lead here. Oh, he meets some of the rocket.
Oh no! Oh, he almost got sent all the way off the map. He got sent for miles there, but the damage is going to be more than enough. Pavel down to Ranger, but that's just awareness, right? Where Evil acknowledged that I've just picked up Mega, I've just picked up Heavy, and he knew the next mission was going to be Rocket Launcher. He just flew straight towards it. Again, Pavel on the verge of losing his second champion already again. And it's looking likely he might need to make this straight comeback. Pavel trying to get out of there, but
Bree is trying to chase him down. Pavel has quite a lot of armor at his disposal, sponging a lot of this damage. Evil actually has to watch out here. One well-placed rocket, I should say. It's going to give him some troubles.
Oh! Yeah, it doesn't quite get that rocket on target, but that one will be. But the direct 100 saves him. And just as a reward, he's going to get that
door.
Mega.
I think Pavel expected Evil to run away, but Evil just clung to the wall.
Now, can Pavel make this 3 straight comeback again?
He's done it once. Now he must be forced to do it a second time.
He's got a super shotgun, but I don't think he's collected the rocket launcher just yet. There's that Pearson sight. Now he's going to know exactly where Evil is, and I think because of that, he saw how far away Evil was and thought it was going to be a safe pickup on the rocket. And now here he comes, the rocket exchange. Oh, this time, no comeback to be made. Evil gets that one, it's 1-1.
Was a tall order indeed, but Evil going to tie things up. I think it's important for Evil to be able to get around like that, though, after basically having that comeback made at his expense. You know, you kind of need that return around just to show yourself, okay, no, you're not going to do it again. I will be able to win this time and keep that lead.
Evil spawned directly on the rocket, so now, even though he's just picked up Mega, he just can't really fight back. You know, here comes Evil trying to go point blank.
Pavel does not have the weaponry to contest this fight, but still, Evil not going to commit. Evil seems to exercise caution considerably.
Did manage to let Pavel take the heavy armor, though. Doesn't want to use the teleport, doesn't want to run into those nails. But at this stage, Pavel would have just collected the rocket launcher. It really is amazing how different this matchup goes when one clutch doesn't have rocket and the other one does.
Oh, well, LG though. Oh. Yeah, Evil knows. Yes, as soon as he popped his barrier, Pavel popped his. So considering his barrier wasn't back, he was going to know that Pavel wouldn't have his either.
Here comes the shield wall. It's going to be so hard for Pavel to get away from this. Tries to die roll, but it's not enough. He's down to his visor already. He is once again having to make a full comeback. But it was not so easy.
At 40 seconds too. 40 seconds in, he's already lost down 2 of them. And Visor has to make a comeback. Is probably just going to be forced to make a full comeback with Visor every single round.
Right now, he is not. He hasn't got an answer for that clutch. Because I know he himself is playing clutch, but he is having such a hard time dealing with Evil with clutch at first.
Oh, that rocket jump got himself killed. Unfortunately, not the first time we've seen that today.
Yeah, that rocket jump was a death sentence. Unfortunately, Visor hasn't got the air movement of a couple of specific champions. So when he knocked himself into the air there, all Evil really had to do was just pull, look up, and then just chain him until he was dead.
Let's not forget, Visor has no survivability versus Clutch. Clutch can pop his barrier, run at Visor, and there is very little he can do to get away. You just have to out-damage him and hope that he dies first.
Evil's had some really good spawns on this map. He is consistently spawning closer to rocket than Pavel is.
See that 100 direct rocket and then look up and see just how much health and armor Pavel still has.
Waiting patiently on that LG. Taking damage when he can get it, and actually fresh off the Mega, trying to sort of just push away, keep Evil away from him as long as possible, but they've now traded it out. Evil's clutch has definitely been more dangerous in the mirror so far. Pavel has such a big order in front of him. It's so difficult to take down this champion when he's going, and hasn't had an answer so far. And right now, Evil doing big damage again, but trading out a little bit. There's that shield wall, trying to finish, and he does finish it. Gets the Mega at the last minute.
Almost seemed like a bit of a danger to go for the OG there and then sort of, you know, put the barrier down for so long. But again, it just comes down to that quick calculations. Evil knew exactly how much damage he'd done to Pavel, and he knew that the OG was going to be enough to quickly finish him off. And when now Evil, I should say, finds himself on match point.
Another 100 damage! Oh, ouch! Pavel's in big trouble now. He has to, again, the only thing he can
Visor, man.
Only thing he can do is make this full comeback. And here's the shield wall. Combine that with a Mega, and I just don't think it's possible. Evil is just way too healthy and way too dangerous. Although quite a risky decision to enter the qualifications on week 4, he does manage to make it. And in one and only week, he makes it to the regionals. Huge congratulations to him.
Indeed. I mean, that's why entered at the last minute and qualified immediately. You know, map number 1 was very close, came down to final round. So I think map 1 definitely could have gone either way, but Evil just, I mean, I don't think that's the first time we've seen him on Corrupted Keep, right?